In this masterclass, we talk about how to build a Facebook group with thousands of raving fans. Hey guys, what's going on? Austin Distel here with the Entrepreneur Alliance. Today, I have Arnie Giske, who is a digital nomad living in Colombia and is from Seattle. Now, let me tell you about this dude. Super interesting guy. Today on the call, you're going to learn exactly step by step how he grew a Facebook group to 7,000 members almost like overnight. It's incredible. And like this didn't happen by accident. This is not like he just stumbled into it. He knew exactly what he was doing the entire time. And so today on this call, you're going to learn step by step how you can use Facebook advertising and Facebook groups to grow your business in any niche. This doesn't matter what niche you're in. You're going to be able to use these strategies to grow your business. And so, yeah, guys, I brought Arnie in here today, a good friend of mine that I've known online for maybe a couple months now. Just kind of shooting back and forth messages. And I've seen his group just skyrocket out of nowhere. It caught my attention. I'm like, I got to bring this guy on today. So let's kind of kick it off here. Arnie, wave hi, everybody. How you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, I'm excited to hop on. Thank you for the opportunity. And make sure you guys listen close. I'm going to be dropping a lot of secret sauce that really took me from that, having a decent Facebook group to the 7K mark. So real quick, it took me 6 months to go from 0 to 1,000. I was just kind of bumbling through it, inviting people one by one. And it took me another month to double it to 2,000. And then the last 2 months, I've added 5,000 more members. So we're just about 7K, and they're highly engaged. These aren't people I'm spamming, and I'm not paying for ads, guys. So I've got some great tricks that is going to help you do this. And leverage Facebook groups to grow your brand and your business and your authority, and just really step it up and take it to the next level. So I'm super hyped. I'm gonna let you guys in on all my dirty little secrets, and even walk you through some of the types of posts I use to get that huge engagement and get people just loving everything that goes on in my group. So I'm super hyped.
Dude, I am so fired up for this training just because everybody's using Facebook groups right now, but they're messing up in so many ways and it's going slow. They feel like, this is going to take forever just to hit 1,000 members. And so using these strategies, they're going to be able to not only grow a Facebook group, but monetize it, right? Like that's the whole point of doing this whole thing, is to make money, of course, right? So that's what I'm most excited about, because obviously for the Entrepreneur Alliance, we use a ton of Facebook groups to really scale our business. And I don't know, I'm just fired up about this. So I'm going to kind of let you kick it off here. But before we kind of jump into the details, I want to hear your story. So I know that you started in Seattle and now you're living across the world in Colombia. Working from your computer as a digital nomad, you maybe just got a place here. I know last time we talked.
Let's see if I can show you guys this view. So this is my new apartment. Let's see if we can see past this. There it is. So right now, this is my new apartment. I'm on the top floor, 16th floor in a beautiful neighborhood. Beautiful area, plenty of good food and stuff to do. And it is crazy cheap out here too. So this 2-bedroom apartment, it's all to myself right now. It's just over $700 bucks. And I'm living like a king, earning dollars and spending pesos. So it's pretty awesome. So that's kind of the result of my business building over the last couple of years here. And so I started my agency in November 2015. I started off by helping a buddy of mine who already had an agency. He wanted to get more clients. So I was doing some business development, some sales, some lead generation, all of that. And then I later moved into hiring some more team. At one point I had a team of about a dozen contractors. We're doing everything from mobile apps, website branding, some social media. And I didn't like how it was going because it was kind of lacking focus. I was trying to be everything to everybody. And we all know that's not how you should run a business. But this is my first online business. And I dove in. I didn't dip my toes in. My very first sale was a mobile app project for $15,000, and that just blew my mind. You know, as a first-time online entrepreneur, this wasn't a $7 ebook. This it wasn't even a $50 consulting call. It was a $15,000 mobile app project. So I was like, okay, this is real, guys. Let's make this happen. Let's do it bigger and better, and figure out how to really kill it. So that's what I did. You know, I really worked crazy hard to figure out how to make this go as best as possible. It changed directions a few times, and then later ended up doing more Facebook ads and sales funnels, because I figured out that I could bring huge amounts of value to a lot of different people, and actually learn these skills more on my own. So I didn't have to have a big team to fulfill all these orders. So
Arnie, I feel like
that's the
Tim
direction I
Ferriss
went.
would be so proud of you right now. Like, you are living the 4-hour work week, living abroad, you know, having a great online business. Obviously, you've pivoted a few times, going from your blog, agency, and using awesome, cool strategies like Facebook. Like, this is so inspiring already.
Yeah, thank you, man. And it happened crazy fast too. You know, like I said, guys, I got into online business. I started my agency November 2015. I didn't even make a single dollar in 2015 online. You know, I got that first sale around January. So I haven't been doing this forever, but I figured out what works and what works for me, and how I can serve my clients, and, you know, serve thousands of people in a Facebook group. So it really just took the dedication, a lot of kind of running through and making tons of mistakes and learning from the greats, and then just fine tuning everything to make it better, stronger, more effective, more valuable for people. And that's when everything really started to take off.
That's awesome. Did you ever take like somebody's course, or like get any knowledge, pay for knowledge, anything like that, find a mentor that helped
Yeah.
you kind of accelerate your growth?
Definitely not so much for the Facebook groups. That I pretty much did on my own, with a lot of trial and error, and then figuring out what stuck, and really just polling the group and figuring out what they wanted and turning around and giving it to them. But in terms of sales funnels, Facebook ads, and all of that, I have 3 favorite mentors. Number 1, Russell Brunson, the whole ClickFunnels crew. Learning so much from everything from .com secrets to funnel immersion and some of his other trainings. That whole community as well. And my other 2 mentors more on the Facebook ad side are Dan Henry and Danny Vega. 2 very smart dudes. Dan Henry actually mentored Danny Vega too. So yeah, those guys kind of brought me up as a Facebook advertiser, I guess you could say, and you know, taught me the ins and outs, taught me how to run an agency, how to provide tons of value, and you know, make sure I'm making good money for what I'm doing for people.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think a lot of people that do listen and watch these master classes are digital marketers. And so all of these names are probably super relevant. I would even say that maybe a few of them already took that course too with Dan Henry.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some of them using the strategy of that, like, hungry student, or whatever they call it, right? Where you're asking, you know, to do stuff for free, you know, to just build experience.
Hungry student is a little bit more accurate than curious student, but yeah, you're right.
There you go. Hungry, literally.
Yeah. Hungry marketer.
Yeah. Awesome. And so, yeah, I guess over the course of the last year is when you've just accelerated. How much would you have said that Facebook groups has contributed to the growth of your agency and obviously your income?
So surprisingly, there isn't as much of a huge direct correlation with Facebook groups and agency. What I'm finding is I have to be a lot more selective with who I work with to be able to bring them the most value on things. So my ideal group member is not always my ideal Facebook ads consulting or done for you client, which is okay, but it means I have to go other routes to be able to find those people. And that I've gotten figured out as well. But the real gem behind that Facebook group is the brand visibility. So I may not always get clients, hopping onto my Facebook group to hire me, but if they know their friend is looking for an ad manager or a sales funnel creator, I'm the first one that pops into their mind. Like the other day, I had somebody message me. She was a group member. We hadn't chatted before. We weren't connected on Facebook. And she messaged me and said, hey, my friend needs some help with Facebook ads. You're the first one that came to mind. So I thought, all right, something's working then. I've got the brand awareness going on. I'm dropping enough value that this person I haven't even talked to is giving me a referral. So it's not always direct, but it happens. And having that audience is really great. And I have been able to monetize through some other things with that group. I have a paid business directory that I have in there. I'm working on a couple more products as well. The Facebook group engagement masterclass, as well as some other affiliate offers. Like I said, I got mentored from both those guys, Dan Henry and Danny Vega. And I had one of the biggest posts ever in that group go down the other day. And it was for an affiliate offer. So I'd love to break that down for you guys. If you're curious about using your channels and your Facebook groups to promote other people's stuff, it's very doable, but you just have to be very smart and strategic about it and not be spammy. So if you
that
want me to dive in,
right? Like that's the key. How do you grow a group without being spammy?
Yeah.
Everybody can use bots, right?
That's
a bad strategy. That's not how you build trust and rapport. So what I've noticed is that not only do you have a lot of members in your group, you have a ton of engaged, loving, excited members, which is more powerful than anything. It's like having an email list that opens everything.
Yeah, for real. Like I'm always a fan of saying, it's not the medium, it's the message. So, I'm terrible at Instagram. I'm not on LinkedIn, Snapchat. I've kind of put my eggs in my basket with the Facebook group and the email list. And I find that, with an audience like this, I can reach people a lot easier, get a lot more engagement, right in the Facebook platform. And I figured out how to get really, really good at that and focus my attention on that. So it works in a ton of ways. And I really figured out what is, what does the trick for me.
Now, Arnie, tell me this. Are there certain businesses that probably get more results out of a Facebook group than others? You said that you don't use it as much for your agency, even though it's like a great branding play. But like, what are the best businesses, or what businesses come to mind that are just like rock solid at using Facebook groups?
Yeah, I'd say you got to really think about it from the perspective of how severe and complicated are your target market's problems. Because if you're selling socks on Etsy, you're not going to start a Facebook group that everyone's going to come in and talk about socks. But if you're, doing something like I have, where it's a lot of different types of entrepreneurs at different stages, different problems, and they're like-minded, they have similar goals, and they have a lot of challenges at every single turn. The real reason why this Facebook group works so well and others work so well is because it's a community hub and a discussion channel. So, if you're selling socks, you don't have too much to talk about. But if you're dealing with a lot more complex problems, like I know coaches do really well with their Facebook groups when they can kind of spur that conversation. Marketing, anything with really in-depth strategies and tons of other stuff, even things as simple as like, I know someone who does loans, and her Facebook group is like 25,000 people, but it's a housing group. So they put homes and apartments for sale and rent in there. And, her being the chief loan officer, it's right in that vertical. So when people are buying homes, they need to get a loan. She's making bank, so she's just a go-to person. Doesn't always have to be direct one-to-one. You don't have to teach people how to buy a good house, but if you can provide something that helps them do that and gets them the cash flow to, secure that house, then you're on the right track. So always think about what kind of value you can add, even if it's a slightly different vertical. If you can teach something that serves those people, you're on the right track.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And it's like how do you make it more than just the content you deliver, but how do you encourage others to create content within the group too? Right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be the full supply. That would just weigh you down every day.
Oh,
Right?
especially when you start. Like, I think that's a big mental thing people get stuck on too, is like, when you start, if you're sub, 300 members, you're going to be just talking. And the funny thing is, people are going to read and consume, but they don't always like and comment and chime in. But you're still having to be that voice, anybody that starts a blog starts off with one reader. It's like their mom, So you got to always think about that. Everyone, no matter where you're at, you got to start with one member, and that's you. And you really just gotta nail down people's problems as it grows. Figure out how to give them what they need. Spark those conversations, make people ask those questions, and continue to grow from there. So like for example, like I said, I got just shy of 7,000 members right now. I'm super high. I feel like by the time this gets published, it's gonna be 7,000. I'm 52 off at the moment, yeah, it's like there are a handful of people that engage in there like every single day, and it's usually like the same 50 people. A lot of other people
Classic
chime in.
80-20 principle right there, right? Actually, it's
Absolutely.
probably like 99-1
Yeah.
for you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, like, you probably have 20% of people within your group that do 80% of the posting.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I'll walk you guys through some of the stats on that in a couple minutes too. I've got this cool free tool called Sociograph. But yeah, it's I want to jump into another strategy for you guys. It's really cool. I call it the shotgun content strategy. So if you guys are listening, you're putting out content, take some notes, pull out your notepad right now. Shotgun content strategy. So why I call it this, think about if you're going hunting and you're trying to knock a bird out of the sky. Would you rather use a shotgun or a rifle? You got one bullet with your rifle, and you might hit it, you might miss it, but you made your shot. But if you have a shotgun, you're shooting out all those pellets, and you have tons and tons of chances to hit your target. So bringing this back to content, what the shotgun content strategy does is you mix up all of the types of content you post and figure out how to appeal to more people in total. Because if I talked about the same thing every single day for 7 days, that will get fans that come back over and over and over again. But if I talk about a different thing for seven days straight, that's going to attract different types of people, and then start to pull in that engagement from them and get their attention. So this was the point, the kind of epiphany for me at like the 1,000 member mark. I was like, all right, this group is getting kind of legit now. I should make sure how to figure out how to really like 10x this, blow it up, make it the most valuable group on the planet for young entrepreneurs. So I had to figure out, number one, what they want. Number two, how to get them engaged. Number three, how to continue growing, and make it just an awesome place for them to hang out. So what I started doing is I went from kind of like sporadically posting and sharing blog posts and, hopping on to do a couple videos every now and then. I started doing 3 posts every single day and a weekly live stream. So my 3 posts were consistent theme days. And then I did a question of the day and a tip of the day. Always, slightly different topics, entrepreneur related for the most part. Something that's just like a quick nugget that'll help them get something done or kind of solidify that entrepreneur mindset that they can take away with and grow from. And they would all be different. So I've done this every single day for the last, about 3 months since I hit that. Oh, cool. Yeah. So today's we're recording on the March 21st. December 21st, exactly 3 months ago, is the day I hit my 1,000 member mark. So that's when I changed up the content strategy.
In 3 months now, where are you at?
I got just shy of 7,000, so 6,000 people.
In 3 months. Dude, that's like 2,000 a month right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's pretty killer. And yeah, so as soon as I started implementing that shotgun content strategy, What it did is it put out all these feelers to all the group members, and all they have to do is pull on one, and then they become engaged. Then they start seeing the other posts. They might like some of those. So what I'll show you guys right now is the inside. I haven't revealed this one to anyone before, except for some of my beta tester students from my Facebook groups program. So I think you guys are gonna like this. So this is the inside look at my my sociograph.io account, and this is a free tool. It's all about the analytics for engagement in groups and pages and everything like that. So let's jump in. I'll show you guys some of my top posts. We'll break them down, and you guys can steal some strategies. All right.
Awesome.
Let's
Looking
see.
forward to this one. Yeah, guys, like what I really like about Arnie is that he has always been just like really transparent with his story, with like what he's getting in results, just kind of like being out there and relatable. So look at this. Like he's like literally showing you his metrics.
Okay. Can you guys see this right now?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. Awesome. So what you see here is the inception of my Facebook group in July. So I started off with a 7-day challenge, and I pulled in 100 people. Funny thing, I actually did some engagement hacks to pull in those people, so I didn't pay $1 for those 100 people in my challenge. And then I, started off there. And as you can see, I was kind of just like, here's some random posts, here's some this and that. And then I started getting a little more serious when we got some more members coming in. Figured out, all right, let's try and ramp this up a bit. And let's see, December 16th. Yeah. So like right around, this time frame here in December, January is when I started, using the shotgun content strategy. I just went over consistent posts, theme days, question of the day, tip of the day, more activity, more engagement from myself and other members. And right here, so this big day right here, so 42 posts, 390 likes, and 288 comments. You want to take a guess on what happened on that day?
Dude, I have no idea, but I cannot wait to hear.
So this was the day that my group got featured on Fast Company for an article on the best Facebook groups for business. And I made it to number 3 on that list. And it blew up. I had 1,000 people join over the next 24 hours from that going live. And that would not have happened if I didn't have the structure and the content and the engagement that came from that shotgun content strategy. So I know the author on there, and she said, hey, I think I'm going to feature your group. I was like, okay, cool. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you need. And then a week later, I wake up and there's like 200 member requests. I was like, what just happened? And then the rest of that whole day, it was just like ding, 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 ding all over again. So, really, really figuring out how to make sure that other people know how valuable your stuff is, and then pointing all of your links back to your group. So that's one of the biggest group growth strategies I tell people is I call it all roads lead to group. So like I just did another podcast interview this morning, audience of a couple thousand. They say, oh, where can I find you? The group. That's the best spot because I know I can capture them, nurture them kind of like an email list. If they're interested in what I have to say, they're going to stay around. If not, they're going to fall off, and that's all right. But it's even easier than grabbing someone's email. It's just, sending them to a group. I've got my calendar popping up here. But yeah, so that's kind of how I was able to point. It's so like growing your Facebook group is like trying to fill up a swimming pool with a garden hose, right? Like if you want to do it, it works. It'll take some time, but you have to figure out how you can add 10, 20, 30 more hoses into that pool and then grow it even more and faster over time. So figuring out how to leverage your media appearances, your other content, and something I call a profile funnel. So this is how I kind of growth hacked myself in the first place to hit that 1,000, 2,000 member mark, and then it took off after that. So I didn't get as big of results, but this is how I started it off. So this is in my my cheat sheet. It's called How to Attract Targeted Members to Your Facebook Group on Autopilot Without Spending Money on Ads. So yeah, quick note on that, guys. I spent $10 on ads my entire journey as a Facebook group owner. Worst investment ever. I got like 10 members. As you can tell, I got the other 7,000 from just hustling and being smart about it. So yeah, I didn't even need to spend money on ads. So let's get into this profile funnel, guys. So there's a ton of cool steps to it you can take like in the next 20 minutes. So as you guys do this, like pause this workshop and then just go implement it. I don't want you guys to just run through this whole workshop and be like, oh, that was cool, and then just go about your day, because that's the best way to not get results is to learn and then not make it happen. So a lot of this stuff is super simple. Step one is the bio pitch. So when anyone creeps on your profile, which they should be if you're active in other groups, they're going to look immediately to your bio. Mine says Facebook ad sales funnel specialist, podcast host, satellite, digital nomad, like my page below. Now, ideally, I would link it straight to the group, but unfortunately, Facebook doesn't let that slide. So step two on this one is pinning your group on your business page. So anyone that kind of follow those breadcrumbs is going to find your group there. And look at that. That's outdated. I only have 4,600 at that point. We got a few more since then. Yeah, and it's always fun to go back and re-edit that as your group is just blowing up. You're like, oh, wow, that was only 2 weeks ago. So another cool growth hack I have is catching the timeline creepers. So much like any kind of opt-in or gated content or membership site, you want to let people know what's on the other side of that join button. So what I'll do is I'll promote stuff and make it super valuable to different types of people. Like I said, shotgun content strategy, and let them know that it's going down on the other side. So this is, as you can see, February 3. No accident, I was able to become a digital nomad, moved to Colombia. So I did this video, and I invited a guest speaker that day to talk about becoming a digital nomad. So people are like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. I want to check that out. So they join the group. You know, there's the link right there. And you can do this over and over again with different types of content. You can say, oh, I'm adding a case study, you know, come check it out. It's in the group. So just let people know what's on the other side of that, and then make sure you have some awesome stuff actually in there when they finally do join. Let's see. You can also pimp out your cover photo and let people know what you're all about. So on mobile, this looks great. So I had my designer work on this. So on mobile, you don't see that over, you don't see that over, and my picture lands like right there. So it looks awesome. It's just really quick, like, oh, you know, who is this guy? What does he do? You know, where can I learn more about him? And you know, there's my logos and there's a call to action for the group. And like I said, planting seeds with your media backlinks. If you guys are hustlers, I know you are because you're in the Entrepreneur Alliance. I know you're chasing the spotlight, getting some media. And when you do, they ask you, you know, where should we send the people? A lot of people say, you know, their website or maybe an opt-in or anything like that. But if you want to play long game, send them to the Facebook group, guys. That lets them warm up to you. That lets them hang out. And it can be a little bit broader. You know, your opt-in might only attract a certain type, but you might be trying to get, you know, a bigger range of people. So just get people in your community, get them talking. And then last part, you know, through your targeted traffic sources. So one of the coolest ways I've seen somebody do this is Dan Henry, my Facebook ads mentor there. So what he does is every time somebody opts into his free cheat sheet or webinar or any of that, he makes sure in the emails and all of that, it points people back to his Facebook group, his free one. So that gets people in the tribe, that gets the brand awareness up, that gets the engagement up. And I think he has like 18,000 members or something. So it's crazy cool to see how he's leveraged that. And you know, you're already paying for this traffic to hop on your email list. You might as well bring them to your other channel as well to have those extra touch points. So that's pretty much step one of all my crazy group growth hacks here. And yeah. Any questions on that so far, Austin?
Dude, I just love how detailed this is, right? Like
Yeah.
I can follow this step by step and know exactly what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And this is free. This is my free stuff.
yeah, man. Is there any way that we could find this online?
Yeah, absolutely. So that can be found over at bit.ly/group growth. And I'm sure we'll add this into the masterclass page, the show notes as well. Make sure people can grab a hold of this one.
Yeah,
And
guys, if you scroll down right now on the page, like we're just gonna put it right below this video, so you can actually go ahead and download this now. Finish watching this video, of course, but after the video, take action on this thing and read.
yeah, and that's just step one, guys. There's a lot more to it.
Awesome. I love this.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that I have noticed for like engagement that Dan Henry does, I think it's really interesting, is he gets people to post inside his public one to like lead into his private one. So do you have multiple Facebook groups, and is this like the front end of the funnel and that goes into the others?
So that one's still in the works, actually. So I'm working on the full Facebook ads for entrepreneurs course, and also working on throwing around some ideas for some kind of membership that I can add in a lot of extra stuff. Kind of like what you're doing here with guest live streams and tons of resources. So that's something on the mind for 2017 for sure. But the name of it, the working name of it, is going to be the Vault, the Digital Accelerators Vault. So here's my little beta group. I've got about 10 people going through that Facebook groups program right now. Just killing it, getting results. Hector out of Millennial Skills Community, he's just following along and killing it. So it's cool to see people take the strategies I'm teaching you guys on this live, on this recording, and put it to use and really make it happen. So steal all my best strategies, guys. Go get results. Make it happen. And
What strategies do you have for like engagement? Which kind of post have you seen do the most engagement back and forth and actually inspires others to post themselves? Do you have a specific type of post?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different types of posts actually, but I think this will be good to take a look back at the sociograph account here. So I had a post the other day. It completely blew up. I didn't even expect it to go this big. So let's take a look at some of it. So these are the top 3 posts ever in my group in terms of likes. So this one's just dead simple. It's a post built for engagement. Say, hey, I see we got a bunch of new members. Where is everyone from? And they react based on what country they're from. So that's cool. That's a good strategy, but it's not like advanced. So let's take a look at this one. You got the Morpheus meme picture there. The second most popular post in the group ever, and that was from this week. And the coolest part about this post was it was a lead-in for one of my affiliate offers that has a recurring commission. So this single post with 123 likes and 88 comments has the potential to make me, up to $5,000 on autopilot this year. And the work is already done for that. I already sent out all the links and promos and everything. So like I said before, guys, you don't always have to have, perfect alignment with what you offer in your audience, but chances are somebody else out there has something that can serve them as well. So figuring out how to be smart about that and offer it is key. So
I saw that post, dude. Like I was like, that is
yeah. So let's walk through it.
Do you ever feel like you're like walking around in life and be like, I'm in the Matrix?
For real, yeah. With this crazy life I'm living, traveling, doing everything.
I feel like the moment I took my first course and learned online marketing, it's like I took the other pill. It's like
you can't go back. You can't go back.
You can't look back. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let's break down this post. I'll give you guys a 5-minute run through about why it works so well. So first off, the picture, eye grabbing. We all know Morpheus. What if I told you memes? You could learn Facebook ads without paying $1,000 plus. So recently, I was noticing there was kind of a pain point in the Facebook ads advertising courses space, was that there was tons of people out there that wanted to learn it, wanted to get started, but just really weren't in a position financially to drop $1,000. So I'm an affiliate of both my favorite Facebook ads guys, Dan Henry and Danny Vega. Dan's course is $997, and Danny Vega has a continuity at $97 and $297 for like the mastermind. So I put up this post to really experiment to see if I could kind of hit that pain point of people who can't afford dance program and get them into Danny's. So I love both those guys. They both drop tons of knowledge and support different types of people who have a different style. But I wanted to see, if I could make this work. So I'll run through the post super quick. Do you get emails from Calendly saying a possible client booked a call with you on autopilot? How about PayPal, Stripe saying you made a sale while you're taking a nap? This is how you should be doing business with funnels and without chasing people down. And I jump into the story mode. I remember the first time my first funnel worked, my mind was blown. I wanted to do it bigger and better. I understood the power of sales funnels and targeted traffic, how it would completely change my life. So I started learning from all the greats. It wasn't easy. It wasn't fast. It took tons of practice. But if I could have started all over, I would have started with my buddy Danny's training because it doesn't break the bank. Hitting that pain point of, some courses can be out of reach for some people, but it still provides the advanced strategies. So like this was like a cool little storytelling kind of sales letter. And dropping some benefits, letting them know what they can expect, throwing in a share funnel, just to kind of bribe them to hop in and make sure to use my link and everything. And I just asked people to drop a comment if they want the details on it. As you can tell, that one blew up like crazy. So this wasn't me hopping in and say, hey, buy Danny's Facebook ads program. It was me just, really telling the entire story and transformation of myself as a digital marketer, how they could be doing business in 2017. And if they're not, they should start learning how to, and really getting that pre-frame and, just building up the hype, letting people know that this is what I went through and this is what I would recommend to you. So that's really the best way to be like authentic about your affiliate marketing. And really get the crazy results like I got from this post from it. So there's a million ways to do it, guys. A million different, types of products you can figure out how to use. And even if you don't have a product for your group, somebody else does. So there's a million different benefits to Facebook group, guys. And, sprinkling in affiliate promotions every now and then is one of them. I don't do this all the time,
Yeah. So how often would you say that you actually give value versus pitch? What's the ratio?
You got to do like 1,000 jabs, man, and then throw the right hooks. So it definitely got easier as the group grew bigger. But when you have a really small group, you got to realize, the chances of somebody that's in your target market, ready to pull out their credit cards, ready to get rolling, is pretty small. So you have to not, push things if there's not even somebody in the audience ready to receive that. And then it taints your reputation for everybody there. So you really have to, I don't think so I tried to sell something at the end of my 7-day challenge when I launched the group. I got one sale. It was terrible, but it was a numbers game. And then after that, I realized, okay, maybe I don't have that many members. I don't have that much engagement. I need to just really figure out how to grow this community first and focus on adding value first. And if you guys are going to take anything away from this entire masterclass, it was the epiphany that a Facebook group is a branding channel and a community hub and not a marketing channel. So the easiest way to kill your group is to just promote stuff to it all the time. If you want to promote stuff all the time, hire me. I'll help you out with your Facebook ads because that's what it's there for. But your Facebook group is not. So you got to really figure out how to add value consistently, daily. And so there's another funny theory I heard, which is that the idea that if you see something over and over and over again and it doesn't cause you harm, then you psychologically think it is a good thing. So if I'm adding value every single day when I post, and I'm not posting a bunch of links or spam, people associate my group with being a good thing, and it works really well. So that's kind of how you beat the algorithm. You get your branding up, you get people to like what you're putting out. Is just adding that value every single day.
That's
Over and over
great.
again.
Dude, so let's talk about value, right? Like, what are some of the little things that you can do every day to give your group value? I'm sure that you've seen probably more engagement on certain types than others, but maybe it's Q&A, maybe it's going Facebook Live, maybe it's, I don't know, doing a workshop or getting a free training, or maybe a group like Zoom call like this, as like a master.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've done that you've just seen crazy results for?
Really crazy results is all about consistency. So another cool thing I do is I don't just use the shotgun content strategy and just kind of let it roll. I use the shotgun content strategy, and then I use that tool Sociograph to look back at that last week of posts and say, okay, this one flopped. This one got no engagement, but then this one got 50 comments and 20 likes. Why? So it's like a machine, you refine the machine as you see what's working best and what's not. So it's, it's kind of like product development, you figure out where it's hitting home and where it's not, and then cutting out what's not working. And I think recurring structures really help. I tell people to, try and get some recurring structure in there, because people want to know what to expect, and they want to have you deliver that. So for me, that's the question of the day, tip of the day, recurring theme days. And every single Friday, I have 2 guest speakers come in and do a workshop kind of like this on whatever topic they're awesome at, and do some live questions and back and forth and everything like that. So it's cool that they know what to expect. And that, myself and my guests are consistently delivering. And that's why I beat 99% of other Facebook groups, because they might go to Cabo for a week, and then, the leader disappears, and then the engagement drops off, and then they have to try and fight to get it back. But I use things like Buffer. I use things like scheduling my guest live streams in advance, automation, but still showing up every single day and posting and engaging. So really consistency is key.
Yeah, that's great. Could you dive a little bit more into like those tools? Because I am the worst at consistency. Like, with my Instagram and stuff, like I just have everything scheduled now because I'm just gonna miss the deadline. There's that time frame where like certain times of the day are a little more are a little better to engage, and I just don't want to like take all the time to do like hashtag research, and so I put everything into a scheduler called Later, Later, I believe is how it's spelled, for my social media. Is there any tools like that for Facebook groups?
Yeah, so let me get you guys into my Buffer right now too. Very, very simple. So usually on a Sunday night, I'll hop on and batch out some posts. Nice part is some of the stuff is consistent, so I don't have to overthink all the theme days and everything. So here's my Buffer. You can see that I've got my 7 theme days right there, or 6. I didn't get Sunday lined up that time, but what I do is I go in and I make all my question of the day, try and figure out what's going to get the most engagement based on the past posts. I do some tip of the days. And so another thing I hear from people is they say, oh, I don't think I'm going to have enough content for something like that. I think it's going to take up too much time. Well, the thing is, you really have to make a conscious decision that this is going to be one of your primary channels, because as soon as you understand the value in building that channel long term, you're going to shift more resources and time into making sure it grows. And like I said, guys, I'm not big on Instagram or Snapchat or LinkedIn or anything else. Facebook groups is my spot. So it takes that dedication, consistency, quality content, newsfeed engagement hacks. And the funny thing is, like, I don't always put everything in Buffer. So like if I'm just rolling along and I didn't pre-schedule something for the week, Like I'll just be reading an article or kind of doing something in my business, come across something and be like, oh, that's really cool. And then I'll just pop in the group and say, hey, here's the tip of the day. I just learned this from, this article. I just encountered this problem in my business and got over it. Here's how. So it's really fluid and kind of like easy to come up with content if it's actually in line with your brand and what you teach, what you're learning. And it shouldn't have to be like a huge headache, like, oh, I have to spend 6 hours, putting stuff in Buffer. No, like this took me like, half hour, 45 minutes or something. And I can always go pop back in the group and add more tips and add more value.
Yeah, I think that was a really good point right there. And I don't know if like a lot of people caught it, because like we do these masterclasses every single week. And like, for example, last week was all about Instagram marketing. And the week before that was all about LinkedIn prospecting. And it's like, all of these are great avenues. Like you can't beat a lot of them. It's just, you got to figure out what works for you and your business. And, like you said, you do not care about Snapchat or Instagram. Like that's just, Pinterest isn't on your radar.
Yeah.
Any like LinkedIn prospecting or anything like that. There are so many ways right now to get leads into your business. Yet you got to figure out what is the one you're going to double down?
Just one.
You got to have one thing, right? Like you can't, I heard Jim Rohn say, if you have more than 3 priorities, you have no priorities.
I believe it.
We need to figure out what is going to be your best channel for your business. And so, Arnie, I'm curious. There are so many. Why did you choose Facebook groups?
One, I saw so many people killing it with them. Like I said, I kind of got into Facebook groups before there was kind of this big boom of Facebook groups for business. And I remember like I was learning a ton at the time, and I had emailed a contributor for Entrepreneur, and I said, man, this article really hit home for me. It taught me this thing that I was really struggling with. And he's like, that's cool, man. I'm glad you appreciate it. Hey, I just started this community on Facebook for entrepreneurs. You should come check it out. I was like, absolutely. So like that was like first 100 members. Now it's like a 20,000 plus group. And I was able to just really soak in it and learn from all these other people and find so much value in it that it was amazing. It was so cool to have happen. And it really helped me develop as an online entrepreneur. So I saw the potential to turn around and do that for other people, and really kind of build it around the brand of my podcast, and figure out who I could serve the most, who I could provide the most value to, and really just make it happen and give them that community that I loved so much when I first started out. So that's what I did.
Yeah. I think that's like a really good point with it, is like, it's not just a marketing channel. It is a community. And so like you said in the beginning, like a sock brand would probably blow a Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
That would just dump. It would not work well. But Instagram and Pinterest might work really well for something.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So think about your brand, think about your business, and is there a potential for a community to be attached to that? Is that some kind of value where the problem is big enough and ongoing? There's maybe a learning curve there or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can solve that need, because it's about giving value, applying that on a continuous basis. And so supplying value on Instagram isn't that possible, right? Like your captions, if they're longer than 2 or 3 lines, it's not going to get any engagement. That's just kind of how the game is there. Don't hate the game, just, choose the right game to play.
Exactly.
And so if we're looking at Facebook groups, often the longer posts do better, right? Because it is like very specific and there's a storyline to it. And people are on there often browsing, looking at different, posts at a time. And so it's like, that's the engaging side to a Facebook group. And it's also like the emotional connection to it. So I wouldn't say that Facebook groups are necessarily visual in the same way that Pinterest and Instagram are. If you're a beauty product line, I bet you that it's not going to be all about like posting beautiful product photos as much as it's going to be about how to use your beautiful products, right? Like,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
a girl I'm talking to, she's all about like, she has like a social media channel all about, you know, looking pretty. And she's not, you know, always posting about necessarily the brands. She's posting about how to do contouring and all of that, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
beauty stuff. It's a how-to.
And that's cool too about Facebook because you can give it in a few different mediums. You know, they're a lot more favorable to video now. It used to be images. Images are more captivating than text for the most part. But then they started prioritizing videos and and live videos and everything like that. So it's really figuring out, you know, what works best for you. And like I'm strongest on Facebook. I'm strongest on Facebook groups. Like my business page doesn't get a whole lot of activity. I don't post there because the reach is terrible. You know, if I can post to my group of 7,000 people and then a ton of people see it and engage and start a conversation, or post to my business page and then, you know, maybe 200 people see it and I get 2 likes and a comment, it's like, which one am I going to go with? So it's not the medium, it's the message, and figuring out where your message can hit the most people, and then matching that with the style of the medium and the reach of that platform and what you built is key. So I figured out, you know, like short to mid-length Facebook posts, that's what does best for me. And I figured out how to make them more eye-catching by using things like emojis, by using things like statuses like, oh, feeling curious or feeling excited. So that's a pattern interrupt because most people don't use them. And it stops people from their endless newsfeed scrolling. So anything where you can throw people off or confuse people or just get them to stop, that's how you're gonna make your post more effective.
Dude, I think that's key right there, right? Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was a great example because I had a post last week that I didn't expect. Like, it was just on my timeline that I did not expect to like really go viral kind of thing. But it was because I did a feeling angry, and I'm like the most positive dude in the world. I
Yeah.
angry once every year or two. Like actually
I
angry.
think I
Like,
know what post
it's
you're talking
crazy
about
rare.
too.
What's that?
I think I know about Uber, right?
Dude, Uber pissed me off. Yeah, I'm a Lyft
Yeah.
guy now.
Yeah. I
To
think
fill
I
you
know
guys
why
in, Uber
that
took
one
me to the
did so
wrong
good.
airport last week and
Oh,
ended up like missing my flight. And I don't know, maybe did you see recently their CEO left?
no way.
Yeah,
Travis Kalanick, that guy?
yeah, Travis dipped out and he's like, yeah,
Wow.
I morally don't align with Uber anymore. And so he left. And
That's
like
crazy.
somebody tagged me in their post. They were like, oh yeah, I bet you he just read your post and he's like felt so bad about
I'm
himself.
out.
Just left. I'm out.
I'm done.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, I think that's a great little tool you can use. There is the emotion emicon, where you can tell people how you're feeling.
Yeah, so the cool thing about that is that has to do with social science and algorithm, because when you add extra stuff like the feeling blank, Facebook thinks you took extra time to craft that post and serves it to more people. So you get the social science behind that stacking on top of it, you know, the pattern interrupt, all that, and it really just adds up. And so let's take a look a little bit more into that social science side of things. So the reason why that post of yours did so good, number one, feeling angry, like, ooh, Austin never gets angry. What's he angry about? And you broke it down as a story. So story posts do great. They can work wonders for your branding and for your expert positioning and a million other things. Like that one I did about, you know, Danny's training. It worked really well because I broke it down like a story and I proved a point with a call to action. So it worked, it killed it, and yours did as well. But it struck a different chord. You know, it was a story that about, you know, your journey through this terrible event, and then kind of like the call to action was to yell at Uber, and I think everyone did, right? So it's all about storytelling. And yeah, I know we're just about out of time here, guys. But another tip I want to leave you guys with is to humanize yourself. on social. So the best way to stand out and become memorable is just to show up and be you and talk like you, and just hang out and remember that, you know, I have just shy of the 7,000 members in my group. Those are all 7,000 people around the world that want to learn from me, that want to, you know, benefit from being a part of that community. And you got to think about putting yourself in their shoes all the time. What kind of group would you want to show up in and learn from? And what kind of person would you want to look up to? What are they doing? How are they communicate? You know, do they talk about other stuff in business? You know, and really just kind of show up as you and talk about a lot of other things, make yourself memorable. And that's my key. I probably talked about 7 different types of secret sauce, guys, but I think that one's going to really help. Because when you're kind of omnipresent in the right circles, you want to become memorable for the right reasons. And I think that's something that my group has really helped me do.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, kind of as we wrap up here, I know that we weren't able to get to all the amazing details of what Facebook groups can do, but I know that you've created a lot of tools out there, even a lot of free ones. And so obviously we're going to post down below a link to that guide that you referred to earlier. But if other people wanted to reach out to you, Arnie, what's the best way that they can get in contact with you?
Like I said earlier, guys, got to point all media back to the group. So come in and funnel hack my group, see what all the fuss is about, called Millennial Entrepreneur Community. I'm sure we're going to add a link to that one as well, so you guys can see what's going down, you know, figure out what kind of content I'm doing, do a little funnel group hacking, and see what can work for you as well. And make sure you grab that cheat sheet down below as well, called it's the Facebook group's Growth Hacks, how to attract targeted members to your group without paying for ads. And, you know, we walk through about half of that. It's got some killer stuff in there. So, yeah, steal it, put it to use, and go get some results, guys. I'm excited for you guys to grow your brands, grow your groups, grow your influence. Yeah, speaking of, that's another hidden benefit of growing your Facebook group, is when you have an audience like that, or even, you know, 1,000 plus, you get more media opportunities because people see that you have a channel of followers. So I've been able to get like over 30 media appearances in like the last, you know, 6 months or so. Podcasts, blogs, everything. Because
what caught my attention, homie. This is really why we brought you on here today, is because you obviously know how to grow a Facebook group. It wasn't accidental. You were very strategic when you did it, and while you're still doing it today. You know, I think you posted yesterday on Facebook, or maybe earlier this morning. How many of these interviews do you have just here in the next 24 hours?
I've got 4. I did one this morning, and got this one. It's awesome. I loved it. And I got another one in about 2 hours, and then another one tomorrow, and another one I am cooking up with some people over at Inc. So I'm super hyped for that one. I'm just trying to work out some details and make sure it goes through. So yeah, that's my sneak peek for you guys.
That is so
got some ink coming up.
Guys, where else could you get on Inc. and Fast Company and all of this, right? Like, this is the power of Facebook groups. It's not only a lead generator tool, it's a PR tool. It's a way to build an audience. It's a way to interact. I don't know. I love it. You have me closed on starting that.
Yeah, well, man.
Cool, guys. I'm gonna let you go, man. You got to go explore the world out there in Colombia. But
yeah, let me give you guys one last view at this beautiful city. I don't know if it's still as sunny, but so this is I'm in Medellin, Colombia. This is a neighborhood called Laurales. You can go get steak dinners for $5 US, and they're delicious. So yeah, this is no accident. You know, I've been figuring out how to build up my business and online presence, authority, cash flow, all this cool stuff, and I just made it happen. So if you guys want to steal, you know, anything from this stream today, just figure out how to break down your big crazy goals and then make it happen. You know, how many people out there want to go out there and travel? So many people. How many people want to not work a 9 to 5? So many people. And all I did was, you know, put in the work over time. I made connections. I built foundations. I learned from, you know, amazing mentors like you guys have here in the Entrepreneur Alliance. all these guests, and you're great leaders. And it's just soaking in it and then taking action, guys. So design your life, really break down those big things that you want, figure out how to make it more manageable, and attack it piece by piece. Get it done, guys. I want to see you guys living big, living how you want to live, and feeling like a king wherever in the world that may be. So I hope you guys learned a ton. You're gonna go grow your groups, and you're super hyped to be living the entrepreneur lifestyle. I know I am.
Dude,
all right, guys,
this
thanks
is
a ton.
so much fun. I'm excited next year. Like I plan on doing the same thing. We're gonna do an EA road tour. Because
Nice.
now we're setting up all these cities across the world of like our major like dense populations of our members within the entrepreneur.
Awesome.
As of today, we're at like 560 members across 45 countries.
Wow.
And so I'm just going to start like packing my bags, living out of a suitcase, doing these things from airports and going hanging out with the audience,
Yeah, it's badass. It's so cool. Like, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier in the stream, but like after this, I'm going to Florida. I got some of my group members we're going to host a meetup on a boat and just kick it for a day. Then Orlando for a conference. I'm going to AdCon. Then Atlanta. Me and the group members are pulling another event together there. We're going to do some funnel hackathon. Everybody get together, work on our businesses. And then another meetup in LA, Santa Barbara. I'm going to go see the family and then get back to Seattle. So like, that's another cool thing is, when you kind of build up and get more presence and connections and everything, like you said, you got people all over the place. Like I decided to go to Atlanta because I said, I've got 2 days in between Florida and California. What are you guys up to? Where are you at? And then like 5 people in the group were like, Atlanta, come down. I was like, all right, we'll go to Atlanta.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually, that's my next flight is to Atlanta. So I'm from there, grew up my whole life there. I went to UGA, all of that stuff. And on March 30th, in like a week or two, we're going to be holding our first EA cocktail hour down there at a entrepreneur incubator called the Switch Yards. And we're expecting to have like 150, 200 people there, drinks, networking, making deals, just like having a blast. Super pumped to have that one there, man. So,
yeah, that'll be cool.
Dude, well, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and sharing with us how to funnel hack, how to use Facebook groups here to grow your business and your brand. This has been not only insightful for me, but I know hundreds to probably even thousands as we grow will end up watching this and growing their own brand. So your influence is being taken all over the world right now.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's a plan. I'm glad I had the chance to do it with you guys and drop some knowledge for the group. So guys, go take action. That's number one. Don't just watch all the webinars. Go do big things and make big things happen and get those big results.
Exactly, guys. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching another masterclass with the Entrepreneur Alliance. Be sure to turn in next week. We always have another one posted every Thursday. All right, guys. See you on the inside.